So, we need to repent. Because I realize a lot of people are disappointed that Trump's president, but you're going to have to pray for him. You need to speak good about him. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a wild ride. He's wild. God may have chosen him, but he chose a wild one. I'm going to tell you that right now. There ain't no telling what he's going to say. We need to pray for that man. But I believe God can use him. I don't believe God would have called him and elected him if he didn't have a plan for him. All we need to pray is, God, let him know your plan. Let him hear your plan. Bring prophets around him, Lord. Let him hear what you're saying, right? So I thought we'd do a challenging exercise today. I got a little bit more to talk to you about. We all right? I think my watch stopped. I think we ought to pray for all three of these guys. I think we ought to pray for President Obama because he served our nations 8 years. May not be pleased with his policies or or the rules that he made, but he served with great character and integrity. There's not a scandal around him. He's a great husband. He's a great dad. He's a great man. Secretary Clinton, she served our nation for 30 years in public service. Like her, don't like her, corrupt, not corrupt, that's not us, that's God's business. Our business is 30 years she served our nation. 1969, it was written in her annual that she would be the first woman American president. I believe she lived her whole life thinking that would happen, but it didn't. She's a human being. And I can't even begin to comprehend what that defeat felt like. To think all your life, this is what's going to happen. And you get right to the door and you think it's your destiny, and it doesn't happen. That's got to be crippling emotionally to feel that kind of disappointment. She needs our prayers. Because there's a lot of good she can still do for people and children and women around the world. We just need to pray for her. Pray God speak to her. Pray God heal her. And our wild new president, Mr. Trump, he is a sight. We got to pray for him. Rick Joyner says it's going to be like Peter. It's going to be like one day, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to him. That's just extraordinary. And next day, Satan, get behind me. It's going to be that kind of. But the prophets have come to console us. God's hands with this man for now. And that's what we have to trust. So we need to pray for him. Pray for wisdom. Pray for God to help him and encourage him and change him if it need be, and stand with him, speak words of life to him and his family, and trust that he'll lead our nation into the next season that God has ordained for us to move into. And the bottom line is we got to remember, we don't follow the donkey, we don't follow the elephant, we follow the lamb. Now, sometimes the lamb rides a donkey, and sometimes the lamb rides an elephant. But it ain't the donkey or the elephant that's important. It's the lamb that's riding them into the purpose and the seasons that we're entering into as a nation.